I haven't done a video on unexplained or creepy sounds for a while now, and I know lots of people are fascinated by them, so I have searched around and found some really good ones, including what's thought to be the best paranormal EVP ever caught, and even the terrifying audio recordings used during the Vietnam War, with the sole intent of terrifying the enemy. So here are 5 of some of the creepiest sounds ever recorded, some of which are still unexplained. For almost a decade, people all over the world have reported hearing a mysterious sound that appears to be coming from the sky that continues to baffle scientists. You may have heard it on the news or actually in person, as it's been recorded in the US, Ukraine, Germany and Belarus. The sounds vary slightly from a hollow noise to the sound of a very loud trumpet. And what's strange is that apparently many people who have heard the sounds have reported having vivid nightmares for days after the event. Take a listen. There are many theories as to what the sounds could be, from a signal the end of the world is coming to aliens, American secret weapon testing, and even construction work. But the most believed is that the outermost shell of our planet, called the lithosphere, gets broken down into tectonic plates, and the grinding of the tectonic plates could be responsible for the sound, when pieces of the Earth's crust and uppermost mantle grind together. But this has not been confirmed, meaning this haunting sound has no definitive explanation. Now, this next recording was sent to me by Jordan after he caught a strange audio recording that he believes is some sort of alien being that activated or infiltrated his phone. It was captured a few years back whilst he was living in California. He had a Droid 2 mobile phone, and being a musician, he used a simple recording app to record musical sounds and ideas throughout the day to use in an upcoming musical he was writing. Well, one night, Jordan went to bed putting his phone on the side to charge, and the windows and doors to his room were closed, but when he woke up the next day, his window was open. He checked his phone as you do, and could see that the recording app had been activated at 3 AM in the night, and there was a new audio file there that was showing up as 0 seconds. Jordan played the recording, and what he heard horrified and completely confused him. Take a listen. It sure is strange, and like I said, Jordan is confident there were no windows or doors open in his room, yet the window was open in the morning. And if that isn't strange enough, then how did the phone app activate itself, and why was it showing up as 0 seconds despite a recording? After playing the sound to his friends, they believe it could be some kind of paranormal being that was present, but Jordan remains the belief that the recording was created by some type of alien creature. Since it's an exclusive and has never been released, there are not many theories on what it could be, so let me know what you think in the comments. The Borley Church recording. In the early 80s, a local radio station called GWR hosted a late-night radio phone-in about ghosts and paranormal experiences. One of the show's features was a tape recording from an investigation at the Borley Church in Essex. The church itself is a small stone building thought to date back to the 11th century, and although it has had fewer sightings than its neighbour, the now demolished Borley Rectory, it still had its fair share of paranormal activity, including phantom organ music, ghostly chanting, and a ghostly nun walking around the graveyard. Anyway, the investigators made several visits to the church and picked up a variety of strange sounds and unexplained footsteps. The whole recording of the radio program is available, which is worth a listen, but here is some of the creepiest sounds that were recorded.
And to our utter astonishment, we recorded the sound of it opening a door, but a door which doesn't exist.
The investigators said the church was completely empty and recorded this by placing a cassette recorder inside the church, then leaving and locking the door behind them. They then stayed outside in the vicinity to ensure there were no outside disturbances, which they said there wasn't, which has left them with no explanation for the sounds, leading them to believe that it was paranormal. Now, this EVP was recorded in an old mental hospital in Ogden, Utah, by members of the Ghost Investigators Society. At the time of the recording, the investigators said that the room was completely empty and the building itself had no form of water facilities and had not had running water for over 20 years. Despite this, the ghost team believe they caught the sound of a child or lady talking and then drowning. Just a warning, real or not, this is quite distressing. The EVP was first aired in 2005 on the radio show Coast to Coast, and not long after it was revealed that the mental hospital did not treat children, but apparently a boy called Mark drowned in a canal in 1959. The boy's father couldn't save him, and Mark got sucked into a tunnel that ran under the road. Strangely, the canal is very close to where the sound was caught, and apparently the recording was played to the boy's dad, who believes that it is his son. Not much more has been said about it, but it's since gone down as one of the clearest and creepiest EVPs ever recorded. When a sound is recorded that has no explanation, they are often pretty scary. But what if a sound is man-made with the sole intention of scaring people? Well, this has happened many times, but the creepiest case of this was called Operation Wandering Soul. It starts with the Vietnamese culture and their belief that if someone dies, then they must be buried in their homeland, and if buried elsewhere, then their soul will wander aimlessly in pain and suffering. So, during the Vietnam War, North America's Psychological Operations Unit decided they could exploit this traditional belief by recording a series of eerie and terrifying sounds featuring distorted voices to mimic the cries of the wandering dead who never had proper burials. The intended purpose was to unnerve the enemy, sending them into confusion and causing them to flee their positions. The audio clips known as Ghost Tape Number 10 were played from helicopters and speaker backpacks hidden in the jungle. And regardless of their superstition, just imagine walking through the jungle at night and hearing this. Pretty unnerving, and even though the soldiers did eventually realise that these sounds were recordings, so it's unclear if the operation could be called a success, it's been reported that at times the sounds caused the Vietnamese soldiers to make rash decisions, randomly firing their weapons in rage and fleeing their posts in fear, often revealing their positions. So that's 5 very haunting sounds. I hope you've enjoyed this video.